All right, welcome everyone to this week's live Q&A. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Paul. I do these live Q&As every Tuesday. I try to do them every Tuesday. I wasn't here last week. I was away on vacation, but I'm back. I'm ready to answer all your questions about eBay dropshipping. So we're going to wait a few minutes, let some people come into the live broadcast, and then we'll get started. I'm going to pull up the questions on my phone so I can answer them as they come in. All right, Scott's here. Welcome, Scott. Anthony, my pleasure. It's my pleasure to do these, help you guys out as much as I can. Can you guys hear me? If you guys can hear me, let me know. If it's too quiet, let me know that. Hey, Irma. Hey, Carrie. Welcome, guys. Gary can hear me. Thanks, Gary. Okay, great. Loud and clear. That's what I like to hear. Robin's finally here. Robin, we've been waiting for you. Robin said, just made it for the first time. Okay, awesome. So we're going to give it like one more minute and then we'll get started. Oh, my voice is beautiful. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that. Al's here. Hope everyone's having a good week. I'm feeling really good. I was away last week in Florida. We went on a sailboat, sailed around Miami, Fort Lauderdale, the Upper Keys. Had a really great time. So I'm back. I'm nice and relaxed, ready to help you guys out. All right. The Ibrunum 86, I don't know how to say your name, says, thanks for keeping the course updated. And also, do we need software to find products that sell? Yeah, I appreciate that. I do try to keep the course as updated as I can. We're talking a little bit about that today because there's some big updates coming to eBay, which we'll go over. And you don't need software to find products, but it does help. And the one I use is something called DS Genie, but you can also use what's it called, Shopify, which is by the same company. Yeah, I had a great time on the trip, on the sailing trip. It was a lot of fun. And Alice says I should come to the West Coast next time. That's a great idea. I really want to check it out there. I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of people in this space out there, so I'd love to check it out. Okay, so let's get started because there's a lot of questions I want to cover and a lot I want to go over. But before I get started, I want to thank you guys because I've hit 3,000 subscribers, and that like blows my mind because I think it was just 2 weeks ago when I hit 2,000 subscribers. So, and I thought that was amazing. So to hit 3,000, that's incredible. Thanks everyone who subscribed. I really appreciate it. I really love that you guys come out every week and watch these videos and check out what I have to say. And yeah, so just thank you. It's really awesome. So let's go over some of the questions I got this week. Somebody said that they have trouble checking out on HomeDepot.com. They said that they noticed that when they have multiple addresses in an order, because when you buy items from Home Depot, you can put multiple items into one order and ship them to different addresses. But they have a problem because sometimes most of the addresses will be one line long, but it will take the second line of one of the addresses and add it to all the different items. So this is a problem that happens with Home Depot quite frequently. It's pretty easy to fix though. When you're checking out on Home Depot, the first address you put in, make sure the first address doesn't have a second line. So that's how it gets messed up. If the first address you put in has a second line, then there's a chance it might add it to all the other addresses as well. But if you just have a one line address, then the rest of them should be fine, even if some of them do have two lines of address. Okay. Yeah, Maybelline says, even if you use DS Genie, and there's a link to that below. DS Genie's a software it does lots of things, but what I use it for is to scan sellers' stores to see their most profitable items. But they have like a light version that just does the scanning, and it's called, what's it called? Shop is Spy. So I use that, but I still optimize my titles. I don't do the sniping. I don't copy the other seller's titles. Can you drop ship living in the Bahamas? Yeah, definitely. You can do what I did and get on a sailboat. I know a lot of people like to go down to the Bahamas on their sailboats and drop ship from there. Michael asks for an example of how to optimize titles. That's a great idea. I get a lot of questions about that. So I think soon I'll do another webinar, a live webinar, like I did a few weeks ago, but it's just going to be all about title optimization. So if you guys are interested in that, give this video a thumbs up so I know that people are interested, and then I'll make that video in the future. Tomorrow wants to know if this will be a replay. So with these live Q&As, I'm always going to leave them available on my YouTube channel. So once this is over, you can watch it later. You can rewind, go back to parts that you like, and watch it again. Bill wants to know if I've used other sources besides Home Depot and Walmart. So yeah, of course. I've tried a lot of different sources. Some I like more than others. So I've tried Home Depot, Walmart, Lowe's, Amazon, Bed Bath & Beyond. I've tried Sears and Kmart. The ones that I like the best are Home Depot and Walmart and Amazon. But I don't sell a lot from Amazon just because I focus more on Home Depot and Walmart right now. I've tried Lowe's. There's a lot of problems with Lowe's. I mean, you can drop ship from them, but it's a big nightmare. They have a lot of problems, and I've gone into that in other videos, but basically it's really hard to return items to them. They constantly are out of stock, and they lose your items. They don't ship it out. Bed Bath & Beyond also is a great source that you can make a lot of money from, but I had a terrible experience with them. They banned my account because I just bought too much from them too quickly. So if you do use Bed Bath & Beyond, don't buy too much too quickly. Just buy like a few of the more expensive items from them would be my suggestion. Okay. Do I drop ship from eBay to Amazon? No, I've drop shipped on Amazon in the past. We're going to be doing it again soon, and we're going to be documenting that whole journey. So that's something we're going to be breaking into within the next few weeks. I know I keep saying that, but really mean it this time. So if you guys want to stay updated on our Amazon dropshipping journey, make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss those videos. It's a completely different system. Obviously, there's a lot of things that are going to be the same, but it's harder than eBay dropshipping. So it's not something that you should just jump into without really knowing what you're doing. So we're trying to do our research, make sure we understand it before we get into it. But if you want to check out what we're doing, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. Okay. Do I charge sales tax when I drop ship? So yeah, I charge sales tax to the states I'm allowed to. And I put emphasis on that, states I'm allowed to. So you'll get in trouble if you charge sales tax in every state just to try to make more profit. That's illegal. So don't do that. What you want to do is charge sales tax in the states that you're registered to collect sales tax in, which for me is just New York because I live here in New York City. What do you think about it? All right. Lots of great questions. So Alan says he's been having issues with DSM tool importing incorrect dimensions. Is there a known fix? So I've seen a couple people mention problems with DSM tool doing this, and I've tried to recreate it, and I've been unsuccessful. I've tried different sources, and every source I do try comes through correctly. What you could do is just delete it and change it, or you can even go into DSM tool setting and just say that you don't want the item specifics copied over. I I know they say that having more item specifics is better for ranking and conversion, but I've tried. I don't pay attention to what it is. Like, if mine might be wrong, I don't even look. I just list them. Well, I've been looking recently because people have asked me questions about it. So I don't think it's as important as people say. Ty's here. Welcome, Ty. Yeah, Josh wants to know if we should hire VAs to do optimization to scale up. And yeah, definitely. I'm a huge advocate of using virtual assistants. I'm actually making a virtual assistant course to supplement my main course, the eBay Dropshipping Titans course, which is um, all about how I've set up my dropshipping stores and how I run my business. So I'll be making the VA course. It's not available yet, but if you guys are interested in checking that out, I think it's the first link in the description below this video, and that's like a sign up. So you put in your email and you'll get an email notification as soon as the course is available. And in addition to that, if I make any more videos before then, which I will, about virtual assistants and hiring and training of them, I'll send it to that email as well. So if you're interested in virtual assistants and hiring and training them, you you want to make sure that you sign up for that so that you get all that free information. And then you get notified as soon as the course is available. You're not committing, you're not buying anything right now. You're not committing to taking the course or buying the course. It's just going to be giving you free information about virtual assistants. Okay, let's see. Okay, Maybelline says, if I see a source and want to know if it's dropshipping friendly, can I just email them and ask? Um, I guess you could. I've never thought of that. What I usually do is I search around Google, I'll ask in a Facebook group, has anyone tried this? What has been your experience? Of course, there's going to be people who always say I had a terrible experience with them. So just take that with a grain of salt because there's always going to be haters for every single one. But the best thing to do is just try it for yourself and start off slowly. Um, don't make the mistake I did with Bed Bath and Beyond and just scale too quickly and then it just crashed down. So make sure that you guys don't do that. The goat's asking me some strange question that I'm not going to answer here. Steve's here from New York City. Welcome, Steve. I'm in Brooklyn. Where are you, Steve? Okay. All right, so Dante's asking about the seller updates. So let's go into that, and then I will answer some more of these questions. I'm going to try to keep up with these questions as much as I can, but you guys got some great questions. So let's talk about the seller update real quick, because every quarter, right? Or maybe it's only a few times a year, eBay releases these like seller update. Um, and they just released their spring 2018 update where they kind of explain what's going on with eBay, what's the new changes and stuff like that. So there's a couple of great things that I saw in there. The first one is that they, under seller protection, they now say that if you ship an item out on time and the item is delivered late because of the carrier, that we won't get like in trouble for that. I don't know how much I really believe that. I don't like, are they really going to not hold us responsible if the carrier messes up? Because right now they kind of do. So that'd be cool if we don't get penalized for that anymore. But we'll see how that actually works out because, as we know, they tend to favor the buyers more than the sellers. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. The other cool, like, new thing that's beneficial for us sellers is that there's new store subscription opportunities. So before there was only 3, and now there's a new one. I think it's called like a beginner store, which is super cheap. And there's a really high volume store subscription called a enterprise, which is like $3,000 a month. So it's really for like high volume sellers. So anyone who's drop shipping a lot of items onto eBay, people who are doing bulk listings, that's a great subscription service for them. It's going to save them a lot of money. So that's really cool. The bad side about that, though, is that for the basic store, which used to be the smallest store you could buy, the insertion fees are going up about 5 cents. And the cost of each subscription is also going up, but it's not really going up by too much. So that change, I don't really understand it too much. Besides the enterprise store, I don't know why they made a new entry level store. It's kind of, it just seems very strange. It's not like a big change. I'm not sure why they would do that, but it doesn't hurt us. It just gives us more options. Now, so the other big change they made, which I think some people would be upset about, is that they changed the way that returns are going to happen on eBay. So we no longer have the we will no longer have the option to have a 14-day return policy. It's just either no returns, 30, 60, or 90, I believe. And again, I don't understand this. Why give us the option to have no returns and the option to have 30-day returns, but nothing in the middle? Like, why take that away? It just seems kind of strange. Either way, that's not really a big deal. I advise most new drop shippers to do a 14-day return policy just in the beginning until they understand how returns work on their source's website. But then after that, I encourage people to bump it up to 30 days because that's what buyers like to see. So this will just take out the 14 days. So everyone should just be doing 30 days anyway. So that's not really a big deal. The big change, which I'm not crazy about, is that they will no longer let us use restocking fees, which they allowed in the past. This I have always had restocking fees. I've taken them away. I've gone back and forth, and felt that even with the restocking fees, people were still buying the item, and it was a way for me to make some extra money. So I kept it. The fact that it's going away is not a huge deal. It's not like I make a ton of money off restocking fees. It's just, I mean, I understand why they got rid of it. It's to help the seller experience. I just don't understand why they wouldn't just give us the option to do it. But from a seller's point of view, I can understand it. The other thing that they changed about returns is that in order to keep your top-rated seller status, you must offer free returns. And I'm not a top-rated seller. It's really hard to stay a top-rated seller as a drop shipper. But some people do it. But this is and as a drop shipper, having free returns is not really a big deal because your sources probably will give you free returns anyway. So this, again, doesn't really affect us too much as drop shippers. Although people who don't do drop shipping, I imagine they're going to be really annoyed by this, because if I'm actually shipping you an item and you get it and you just decide you don't want it and you make up some excuse why you don't want it, then I'm going to have to let me rephrase that. So if I ship you an item and then you decide that you don't want it, in order for me to keep my top rated seller status, I have to pay for you to ship it back, even though it's just buyer's remorse. So again, I don't think that's really fair in my eyes. The other thing that they changed, which is I'm not really sure what this means, is they've made some changes to their metric system. So this one's a bit confusing because it's not well explained. So it's basically for any item not received case or an item not as described case, which I guess would be a return, they say that you'll get penalized if it's open for too long, which you get penalized for now anyway if you don't answer in a timely manner. So I'm not really sure how that's a change. What they did say, however, is that they're going to track how many of these cases are opened. And someone who has fewer of these cases opened are going to have a higher ranking. So it doesn't seem like you're going to be penalized for having too many open, but you'll be rewarded for having less open. I hope that's how it works, because unfortunately, people are going to open these cases even when they're not supposed to be opened, and you don't really have control over it. So that's kind of frustrating if we're going to be penalized for people opening the cases. So that's everything I found that I think affects us as drop shippers in the seller update. Again, we might get protection if an item is shipped out on time, even if it's not delivered in time at the fault of the carrier. We also get some new store subscriptions, although the prices of those are going up. For returns, no longer 14-day returns, no more restocking fees. And for top-rated seller, you must have free returns. And there's some sort of change to the metrics that I don't really quite understand, besides the fact that you're rewarded if you don't have too many of these cases open. So I don't think it's going to be too much of a change for us. But let's talk about the biggest thing that eBay is trying to do, and that's that they're trying to catalog all of their items. So they're trying to be like Amazon, in that when you go to Amazon, you find a product, there's a product, and underneath it are all the different sellers you can buy from, but one person has the buy box. That's Amazon. eBay is obviously much different. You search for a product, you get all the different search results. You can scroll through and see them differently. eBay is slowly trying to become more like Amazon, having that catalog system. And they're starting with a very few limited brands that shouldn't really affect us right now, but I'm not sure where they're going to go with this in the future. But it's obvious they're trying to make it exactly like Amazon, which I think is a terrible, terrible idea because Amazon is Amazon and eBay is eBay. I mean, people come to eBay because they're looking for a deal. They think that if they can get all the listings pulled up, then they can search through, and if they might be able to find that one listing that's like a super like hidden deal. And that's like the only reason I shop on eBay. If I'm just looking for a quick thing and I don't really care about the price, I'll go to Amazon. If I'm trying to find like the best price and trying to find someone who's maybe selling it for less, I'll go to eBay and I'll search through a couple pages until I find the best one. And I think eBay trying to emulate Amazon is just a bad idea. They're two different marketplaces, and I think they're used for two different purposes. And I think if eBay tries too hard to be like Amazon, then people are just going to say, "Why should I even shop on eBay? I'll just go to Amazon, who already has the same platform, the same system, but they have it smoothed out and they really figured it out already. So I might as well just go to Amazon." So that's just my take on it. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Let's see what you guys are saying about it. All right. eBay doesn't need a buy box, right? eBay is strange. eBay is definitely moving in the wrong direction. Ruthless Resale says, I completely agree. And Steve points out that eBay has been trying to do this for 4 or 5 years, and they're not really moving quickly enough because I'm sure there's a lot of resistance to it. Letitia's watching from a gymnastics place. Welcome, Letitia. Put on some headphones, maybe. Sounds really noisy there. Sassy Sorcerer says, "Embrace your difference." I love that. That's so true. You gotta find what's unique to you. And eBay has something really unique. And if they try to be like Amazon, then someone's going to come in and be the new eBay, and then eBay's not going to have a foothold anymore. They have nothing unique. The Sassy Sorcerer says, should those with a basic store upgrade? We'll have to do the math on that. So that really depends on how many listings you have and what the price is. The price increase is not too much, but you also have to do the new math on it. And this is what I mentioned earlier, is that in my course, the eBay Dropshipping Titans course, which I'll link to in the description below this video, if you want to check that out, I promise you guys when I create it that any new updates to the way I do drop shipping or eBay, when it happens, I'll update the course. So the biggest problem with this new update is that I'm going to have to update my course in response to what eBay's doing. It's not a big deal. I'll do it when it happens because I have a whole lesson in there about how to choose which kind of store to select, like a basic store, or premium store, or anchor store. I'll have to add in everything else that eBay's updating. Obviously, I'll have to change the lesson about returns to make that comply with eBay's new return policies. But I'll do that for you guys because I promised, of course, and it's what I would want to do anyway to make sure that the course is as relevant as possible. Okay, let's see what else. Alan's in upstate New York. That's where I went to college, up in Potsdam, New York. Steve's in Brooklyn. That's awesome. I'm in right near Prospect Park in Brooklyn. See what other people are asking. Okay, Alan says, do you usually keep gift cards on hand or do I purchase them as needed? So I always make sure I have like a well-stocked supply of gift cards. And that's because sometimes you order them or you'll refill them and it'll take a little bit of time to get them. So I always make sure I have them well-stocked well before I need them. Okay. Chewbacca 500 says, welcome back from vacation. Thanks, Chewbacca. David's in Bangkok, Thailand. I've been there a few times. Had a great time there. Lots of people from Brooklyn here. Welcome, everyone. Lucky Lifestyle Designer makes a great suggestion. Says, smash that like button. I appreciate that. Elvin's gave me a Elvin. I really appreciate what you said. Dropshipping has changed my life thanks to you, Paul. I really appreciate that. I always make these videos. I'm trying to like help you guys, trying to put out some content. I know this has changed my life. I'm really happy to hear that's also helping other people. It's really great to hear. How many listings did I try to list a day as a beginner when you were on your own? So when I started, I was doing everything manually. I didn't have a listing software because it existed back then, but it was the only real one I knew about was one called Hydra Lister, which is like 80 bucks a month, which is really expensive when you're new. So I was doing everything manually and I was trying to get 20 a day at that point. That was always my goal. All Things Geek says eBay is trying to put lipstick on the pig. I like that. Okay, let's see what other questions we have. Why do I use gift cards? Does it affect your profit margin? This is asked by John. So, John, it's a great question. Basically, there's a couple different ways you can use gift cards. You can buy discounted gift cards from websites like raise.com, but I don't do that just because you'll buy like one $100 gift card and then another $100 gift card. You have like all these different gift cards you have to manage. That works for some people. Some people are great at it. What I do instead is I just have 10 gift cards from Home Depot and I just refill them. Put like $1,000 on each of them. And then a couple days later, I do the same thing, blah, blah, blah. And the reason I do that is because then I can give those gift cards to my VAs and they can buy the items without them having to have my credit card information. Now, you can save your credit card information on homedepot.com, but I have found that things just run smoother when they use the gift cards. For some reason, well, for some reason, even Home Depot, if they see a lot of charges from the same credit card, they're going to think that it's fraud. So what they do is they will then block your card from being used on their site. With gift cards, you don't have that problem. Not everyone has that problem on Home Depot, by the way. Just some people. I had that problem, but I know some people who use their credit card without any problems. But I just found the gift cards work better. So Letitia says drop shipping and listing can get frustrating and boring at times. I can understand that it's like a very routine task. Personally, I like listing. I don't know why. I hate placing orders. This is my least favorite thing. So that was the first thing that I outsourced to my virtual assistants. And now I'm super glad I started that early because now I'm getting like hundreds of orders a day. And so those VAs are placing all those orders for me, and they've been training for so long that they're fine on their own. Um, and I have a lister, and I'm listing myself too because it's actually something I enjoy doing. I like finding the products. I like the product research. Um, just the whole process of it. But it really helps to have the virtual assistants to help with that. Letitia says, congratulations on hitting 3,000 subscribers. Thanks, Letitia. And again, thanks, guys, for that. I did promise you guys that I'll be giving some stuff away as soon as I hit 3,000 subscribers. So we'll be doing that in a few minutes. I just want to answer some more of your questions before we get into that part of it. Yeah, Sassy Sorcerer says that she loves listing. It's like an addiction. Yeah, I completely agree. How do you stay motivated? You got to find your purpose, Elvin. You got to know why you're doing this and what the purpose is for you. Maybe you want to quit your job. Maybe you want to stay at home and like with your kids. Maybe you just want some extra money so you can go on vacation or pay off your mortgage or debt. Whatever it is, that's your motivation. For me, like it's just the reason I do this is because it gives me like a satisfaction. It makes me feel like I'm I have like I'm accomplishing something. I'm setting these goals and I'm meeting them and I'm building something, and that feels really good to me. Just the hustle alone just feels really good to me, and that's what motivates me to keep doing this. And also you guys, as soon as I started putting myself out there on YouTube and talking to you guys, explaining my journey, now suddenly it's like I can't stop. You guys hold me accountable, so thank you guys, because every time I'm like, oh, I don't feel like doing this today. It's like, well, everyone's watching me. Everyone wants to know if I'm doing it right, if I'm doing well. So I have to act. Otherwise, I'll hear it from you guys. So Thanks to you guys, I stay really highly motivated. Uh, So David wants to know how we deal with best offers. We do accept best offers from buyers. We just go as low as we can and we deny the rest of them. That's really all you can do. I know it's frustrating, but I just tell my VAs, this is the formula. This is how low we're willing to go. And we're not willing to go any lower than that. And that's just the end of it. The Sassy Sorcerer wants to know if I have a daily personal development routine. I wish I did, honestly. In college, I was so into personal development. I changed so much as a person. I used to have a meditation routine. I would meditate twice a day for about 20 to 30 minutes. And that changed my life. It was like an amazing time. I felt like so vibrant and alive when I was doing that. And I exercised every day at the same time. Just really took great care of myself. And I still, right now, I'm eating really well. I do exercise. I bike a lot. I bike all around the city, and I go to the gym like 3 times a week. I don't do the meditation anymore. And it's not because I don't want to. It's not because I don't know it's really important. It's just so hard for me to sit down and do it, even though I know I should. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, oh, I should really start doing it again. Actually, Chad and I, my husband and I, actually met on a meditation retreat. So when I said it changed my life, it really changed my life for the better. Sarah, I am 29 years old. I'll be turning 30 this year. So how long do I wait before I prune an item? I give it 60 days without any sale, and then I cut it out of my store. I do have to do that. Thanks for reminding me because it's I'm a little overdue because I was supposed to do it last week. I usually do it once a month, but last week I was away, so I'm kind of catching up a little bit. Letitia says, I watched your YouTube video that went over your goals as a beginner. Love them. I think they would be great as suggested goals for your course. I don't even remember that video. Was that like a video I made when I was still new? I got to check that one out again, see how far I came. That'd be interesting to see. Blue Creek says meditate. Business Credit said, hey, Paul, I bought your course. I learned so much for it. I wanted to know how realistic it is to earn a profit of at least 1,600 in my first month drop shipping. So it's going to be, I'm not going to lie, it's going to be hard. This is not eBay drop shipping. And I explain this in my course. This is not a get rich quick scheme. I'm not going to promise you guys. You guys are much smarter than that, than to know that this is something that's going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. This is a business, so it requires work. But the good news is that like any passive or semi-passive form of income, you put in the hustle now, you put in the hard work now, it's going to pay off going forward, even if you're not doing the work in the future. So like for instance, I worked so hard last year to build up this business, my eBay store. And now, like last week, I went away for a whole week. I had internet once, and I sent you guys a video when I that day posted on my YouTube channel. Internet once, but for the whole week, my virtual assistants were working. They were making me money, and I didn't have to do any work. So that's the power of this business. That's the power of passive income. That's the power of virtual assistants. But it took a long time to get there. So I think getting $1,600 in your first month in profits is going to be difficult. Not impossible, but really difficult. But if you keep working at it for a few months, that's when you really can start to see it scale and grow up. Yeah, Diesel says, I've heard you mention sometime that creating better titles is gold. Would I still agree? Yeah, absolutely. So having great titles with the keywords that buyers are searching for is really important. And sometimes those keywords are not ones that you're going to find in softwares. It's going to be ones that no one else is thinking to put in their titles. So try to be creative with that, and you'll get sales that no one else is getting because it's not drawing in the same people, same searchers. So Abde, hope I'm saying your name right, says, please answer my question. I'm sorry, I must have missed it. These questions come through quickly. Do you sell expensive items, and how much of the profit I can make from an item that costs around $15 to $20 on eBay? So I sell a variety of items. I have like a floor of about like $8 or so. Below that, it's just you don't make much profit. I have no ceiling. So anywhere from $8 up, I'll list it. Doesn't matter. And how much profit you make is depending on so many factors. In the beginning, it's pretty easy to get like a 15% profit after all expenses. Once you start paying virtual assistants, that profit margin is going to go down, but your sales are going to go up. So it does pay to get the virtual assistants because what would you rather make, like 15% off of $1,000 or 10% off of $10,000, right? And the only way you're going to be able to scale that high is if you um, have virtual assistants. Let's see. Yeah, Thomas says, do you rely on discounted gift cards? Kind of said this before, but let me clarify. Don't use the discounted gift cards. It's just too much to handle all of them, really. Yeah, eating show mukbang. Sounds like you eat a lot of food. Yeah, you ask. So, eating show mukbang says, if I don't charge sales tax, even in the state that I live in, can I still drop ship? Yes, you can. The tax stuff can come later. Um, you don't have to do that right away. Okay, Diesel says, I heard that you and Jack say don't list expensive items as beginner. Is that to allow for more items and not to max out the store's cash limit? Yes. So that's one of the reasons. So if you list cheaper items, then you won't hit your monetary selling limit cap. Also, people are more likely to buy cheaper items from you. So if you have the cheaper items, you'll get more sales. And in the beginning, as a new drop shipper, you shouldn't really be too concerned about profit. You should just be concerned about building your store. And the way to build your store is to get more sales, even if it's cheap items that aren't making you much profit. And then you can worry about the profit later. Okay. Uh, Luckman says, do you have any meetup program in New York City? This is something I've thought about, having a meetup here in New York City. Um, I thought about, I was thinking I would do it over the summer, but it's actually been really warm here in New York. Not that that really makes a difference, but it's just, I just always feel better in the summer. But yeah, maybe I'll do that sooner rather than the summer. If people are interested in having a meetup here, it's something we could definitely talk about. Um, I'm not sure how many people in like the community are in New York that would be able to come or in the New York area, but that'd be really awesome. Nothing set in stone yet. This is something I'm just thinking about. But if that's something you guys are interested, just let me know. Like leave a comment here or in any other videos. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. I'll set that up. Maybe I'll make a Facebook event about it, and we'll find like a good place to do it, like a good community space or something. Nothing like fancy, like just kind of something informal. But we'll talk more about that. Just let me know if you guys are interested in that at all. So Bill wants to know how I split the workload between my virtual assistants. So I train each of them to do different tasks. So some only do order placement, some only do customer service, and some only do listings. So that's how I split it up. And I like to do it that way because if one of my virtual assistants is sick or quits, although I've never had a virtual assistant actually quit, they seem to really always want more work actually. But if they ever get sick, then it's not like I have to find someone to do 3 different tasks. It's just I have to find someone to do 1 different task. So what's my default quantity? It's anywhere between 1 and 3, depends on the item. Um, at this point, because I have a high listing limit, I just usually leave it at 3. Okay. Quain says they just found out about drop shipping. They have no idea what it is. They want to know what it is. It's their first thing. This is the first video that came up. So what drop shipping is, real quick, I'm sure most of you know, it's when you sell items on eBay that you don't have in stock. As soon as the item sells, You go to websites like Walmart, Home Depot, Amazon, and you buy the item there and you ship it directly to the customer. And then you keep the difference in price. And that's basically it. And that's what I do. I sell over $100,000 a month doing this. I've been making consistently over 10K a month, over 15K a month doing this. So it's a really scalable business. So in a nutshell, that's really all it is. It's really simple. Bryce says, when something is shipped through GSP, are you just copying and pasting the Kentucky address? Yes, but you need the reference number. And this is something I don't think I've mentioned before, but it's really important to understand when you're shipping through eBay's global shipping program. And for those of you who don't know the global shipping program, that's when you allow customers from outside the United States to buy your items. And then once they buy the item, you ship it to eBay, and then eBay will forward it to the customer. That's the global shipping program. In order for it to work right, you need the reference number. And there's a unique reference number to each GSP, global shipping program, order. But you have to be careful that you don't mess up the tracking number, because even if you have the right reference number, if you accidentally upload the wrong tracking number, they might ship the wrong item to the customer. So in other words, you have two packages going to Kentucky. Let's say this reference number is 1, this reference number is 2, and this tracking number is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one is 4, 5, 6, right? If you swap these tracking numbers, they might ship the wrong box to the wrong customer based on the tracking number. Does that make sense? So make sure the tracking numbers are correct. Otherwise, your items will get lost and your customers will get the wrong item and they'll be upset. Okay. Okay, Jennifer, there's some drama happening in here. I think I missed some drama in the comments. So I'm not going to scroll up and figure out what it is. We would love to meet you. Also, could you please recommend a tax guy in New York? I'm still trying to find a good one in New York. We have one in Pennsylvania, actually, who also does New York. But we're trying to find a good one that really understands e-commerce. So in 3 minutes at 8:45, I'm going to do the giveaways. But I'll try to answer one more question about that. What is PayPal jail? PayPal jail is, so for the first 3 months, you're on a probation period when you first start using PayPal. So that's when you start using PayPal. They're going to hold your money for the first 3 months, not the whole 3 months. They're going to wait until the item is delivered. Once the item is delivered, they'll release your funds. So that probation period is for 3 months. It can be shorter if you have a good performance record, but it's really like up to the discretion of PayPal a little bit. I think mine got cut short, and I know it happens to a lot of people. What software do I use for videos and thumbnails? So I don't really talk about YouTubing much, but it is something I'm going to be talking about more in the future, because this channel is not just about eBay dropshipping, although that's what I'm an expert in right now. It's also about, just in general, how to make money online. I don't make money through YouTube, even though I'm supposed to be monetized. They're just taking their time and haven't monetized me. Not that that's the reason I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I love making these videos for you guys. So I just use Google Hangouts for my YouTube videos, my live ones, and then I use OBS to actually record the actual videos. And my thumbnails, I just use Canva. What are the consequences of dropshipping? Making money? Abde says New York City is a good place to live in. It's a great place. There's no place like it. It's one of the most amazing places in the world, for sure. Peter wants to know how I resolve the issue with GoDaddy bookkeeping. There's nothing wrong with GoDaddy bookkeeping. It's just my credit card company. So I'm still using it. What I'm doing is I'm just manually pulling the data from my credit card company and inserting it into GoDaddy, and that works fine. That's what I'm doing now. So Alan was asking what accounting software I use. I use GoDaddy bookkeeping. It's pretty much made for eBay sellers because it automatically links up with eBay, automatically links up with PayPal. It shows everything. It's almost like too much information. It's like so much in there. It also connects with your credit cards and banks. So that was a problem I was having, was that it wasn't connecting with one of my credit cards. Wasn't GoDaddy's fault. It was my credit cards company's fault. They still haven't fixed it, but I kind of found like this workaround where I manually enter it, and it's no big deal. All right. So thanks everyone who stuck around. I want to do the giveaway right now. So what this is about is that you guys have been great. I have 3,000 subscribers. Maybe I have more now, and I promise you guys that when this happened, I was going to give two different things away. So one, I'm giving away free entry to my course. If you're already a member of the course, I'll just reimburse you for the cost of it. And this is for the eBay Dropshipping Titans course, which is my course all about how I do everything I've been talking about in this live Q&A, how to set up an eBay store, PayPal account, how to find profitable items to list, how to list them, how to make the perfect title for them, all the customer service issues that you'll deal with. I go over negative feedback. Like, this is something that not a lot of people talk about, how to get negative feedback removed. Also, like some really smart strategies for increasing your profits without really increasing the price of your items. Things like how to become tax exempt. So that's all in the course. And I'll be giving away to one of my subscribers right now. The second thing I'm going to be giving away is a free coaching call with me. Coaching is something I used to do in the past. I kind of didn't have time to do it for a while, and that's why I made my course. But I'm realizing, as talking to people, that coaching and a course are two different things. One's teaching, one's coaching. They're actually very different. So in one, with the videos, with the course I've made, it's me. I'm explaining everything to you. You can follow along in your own time. Have a window open. Have your eBay store open. Just follow along as I do it. But if you need like that extra support, if you need to like the verification of what you're doing is right, or what you're doing is not right, that's what the coaching is for. So it's something I want to explore more. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing in the future. I got to see if people want it and how this free one goes. So you're going to kind of be a guinea pig for me, whoever gets the free coaching. I hope that's cool with you guys. If that's cool, just let me know. Otherwise, I guess I'll think of another prize. But that's my idea right now. It's something I'm thinking about. I wanted to tell you guys like what I'm thinking about and what my ideas are, so you guys can kind of stay updated on it. So let's go through and I'll find my subscribers. Okay. So to one of the subscribers, I'll give away a free entry to the course. And to someone who's here right now, I will give away the free coaching. Or actually, I'll let you. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Let me just find where are the subscribers? Here we go. So I'm going to do a random search here. Just give me 1 second while I want this to be as scientifically random as possible. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to scroll around. I have my eyes closed. So this person is going to get a free course, and the person is Prior. So I'm going to message you, Prior. Congrats, you won a free entry to the course. Please send me your email. All right, cool. So congratulations, Prior. And now to someone in the live stream, I'm going to give away the free coaching. Okay. So again, I'm closing my eyes, scrolling around. Oh, shoot. Messed it up. Okay. Scrolling around. And the winner is CP. CP, it's just C.P. So maybe you can message me and let me know that when you're ready for the coaching. Okay, a lot of other people want the coaching too. You know what? I'll give away another one. Why not, right? So this is what you guys do. Just comment right now if you want to win, and I'll pick a random comment, and that person will win. So I'll give it like a minute for you guys to do that, and then I'll pick another person to the coaching. So Prior won the course, CP won a free coaching, and I'll give away another free coaching to someone who commented on the video. So throw in some comments. This might be a really bad idea. I might get a lot of spam, but whatever. I've never done this before. So I'll wait for you guys to do that. Um, I can't even access any of the questions anymore because you guys are just flooding it right now with saying me. So let's give it 1 second. I want to check on something while you guys are doing that. I've mentioned the course a few times. See that. Let's see. Ellis just joined the Titans community, the eBay Dropshipping Titans community. So welcome, Ellis. Let's see who else just jumped on. I'd like to welcome everyone who's just come in. We also have Michael, Bobby, Cody, Lorraine, Brittany, Carrie, Alan, Frank, Julie. So welcome everyone to the eBay Titans community. And also Matt and Mario and Devin. Welcome, guys. Okay, so let's pick a random person. This person's also going to get a coaching call. And I'm scrolling, I'm not looking. And it is Peter Brand. Peter Brand, that's your name on YouTube. So I'll get a free coach. You'll get a free coaching with me. I'm going to write down your name right now. Peter Brand. There you are. Okay. Awesome. All right. So everyone say congrats to Peter. Everyone be a good, don't be a sore loser, I guess you could say. And I still have some time. I want to answer any more questions you guys got. And then we'll wrap this up. Okay. Congrats, Peter. Congrats. Love the support, everyone. But I don't have any questions that you guys are asking. Okay, I think I had some questions from the week. Let's see what it was. Yeah, so somebody asked me this week what you should do because if there's no option to check out as a guest, I mean, not a gift option on checkout, like on Walmart.com, that's not an issue. Just ship the item anyway. I haven't really had too many people complain about it. It does happen from time to time. I do have a script I use for that. Actually, that I used to have a link to my free script in my description, but it's not there anymore. I'll have to add it back in. So if you're watching this later, I'll add that back in later. It's not there right now. But yeah, just basically tell them, we use a variety of different vendors depending on the item's location and the buyer's location in order to get them the item as quickly as possible. And so that might be part of the confusion. Usually that kind of confuses them and they don't have any problem with it. If it's a cheap item, I might just refund them a partial amount or tell them they have to return the item. You're allowed to do drop shipping. You're allowed to upcharge the item. That's what business is. You're allowed to do that. So don't feel like pressure from them to like refund them the full amount. And don't even fear this too much because this rarely happens. A lot of sources will have the gift checkout. Some sources don't ever ship with the price. And for those that do, even those ones that do, it rarely comes up. So it's not something that I would be worried about too much. Yeah, Jacqueline's saying, have I seen the new laws? So the new updates set down by eBay on returns. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. So make sure to rewatch this video because we discussed it, I think like 20 minutes, 15 minutes in. Yeah, David, I use an automation software to upload my tracking numbers. Look at the description of the video. That's where the link is to all the resources I use, and the resource for my auto upload software I use is in there as well. So Lubna Home Depot does not include the invoice. Walmart will. So, Lucky Lifestyle Designer, why do you record cashback in bookkeeping if it's not really taxable? Because most CPAs I've talked to, or all the CPAs I've talked to, said it is. So, it's something we should be keeping track of. So, I know there's some debate over this, but I keep track of it. And that's what my CPA tells me to do. So Dan says, what do I use to keep my margins up if I don't use discounted gift cards? I use cashback websites, cashback credit cards, profit on the front end. What am I forgetting? Is that it? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Cashback credit cards, cashback, oops, cashback credit cards, cashback websites, and profit on the front end. Yeah, and coupons when they're available. I want to try Shopify. I'm currently using DSM. Will you video a tutorial and do you have a link to them? So Alan, the I think it's the last video I made or two videos, no, two videos again, I made on Sunday is a video about DS Genie. And DS Genie is by the same developers as Shopify, but it's like a more robust version of Shopify. So if you check out that video, that shows you exactly how to use DS Genie, but it's the same way that you use Shopify. So in the link to that video is I'm sorry, in the description of the video is a link to Shopify. So you can check it out by clicking on that link. And then you could use the video I made about DS Genie as a training video for Shopify because it's literally the same thing, except Shopify doesn't have all the features of DS Genie. But if you watch that video, it will be enough for you, more than enough to explain how to use Shopify. So Elvin wants to know how much money you need on reserve to do PayPal jail. That really depends on how many orders you're getting. You only need enough money to place an order and then hold you over until until the item is marked as delivered, in which case PayPal will release the money. So that's like a time frame of like what week and a half to 2 weeks, depending on the source. So you just need, at first, you're not going to be getting a lot of sales anyway, because it does take time to build up the momentum. So a few $100s is a good idea, or a lot of credit on your credit card is a good idea too. Okay, what are some other questions? Yes, thank you, David. Tax exemption also for profit. I knew I was forgetting something big. So I mentioned the other ways I still make a profit without the gift cards. Tax exemption is a huge one. Yeah, Sassy Sorcerer. There's other websites besides Ebates. My favorite is Giving Assistant. There's a link to that in the description. If you use that link, you'll get $5 just for signing up. And that is an affiliate link, but it's not going to cost you anything extra, and you will get that $5 if you click on it. And they pay out. So they take about 3 months to pay out, and there's a reason for that, and that's because most of these suppliers, they have a 3-month return policy. So if you buy an item, Giving Assistant can't pay you the cash back for that item until that return period is closed. So that's why it takes about 3 months. Okay. So Flossie says, do you ever consider incorporating in a business-friendly state like Nevada or Delaware? I've looked into it. It just seems like the best practice for my needs is just to incorporate in the state that I actually do my business in. That way I only have to tax for the one state. But I have considered moving to Florida so I don't have to deal with income tax. No, Steven, it's not so I have two credit cards. I've talked about this. Well, I have more than two credit cards, but two main credit cards. One is the Capital One Spark card. My favorite card is 2% back. The other card is my Wells Fargo secured credit card, and that's the one that's been giving me a problem. Although it does work really well, it's just their website that's messed up. When am I going to Nicaragua? Nothing. I don't have a plan to do that yet. I might do it. I might go visit Mark there. He has a thing called Grind Camp. Thinking about going. I gotta see more details when it is, and if I'm available to go then. So Maybelline wants to know if dropshipping electronics like tablets is a good idea or not. Sorry. I don't dropship electronics like computers, tablets, um, phones, things like that, just because those are usually name brands. And I try not to compete on like really popular name brands. I just find that people are going to shop around more for those. Um, I don't really have too much to back that up, honestly. It's just something I've always avoided, products like that. Martin, no, Home Depot does not include a price in the box. You can't use two cashback websites on one order. People have tried. I'm sure some people have figured out a way, but it's really sneaky and it seems like it takes a lot of work. And the websites are getting better and better at preventing it from happening. So, as far as I know, you can't do it. So Elvin says I should move to Florida, lives in Orlando, but from Brooklyn, loves it out there. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful area. I was in Fort Lauderdale. It was really nice over there last week. Adam, I miss a lot of questions because they come through quick. So Adam, ask your question again, and I'll see if I catch it this time. I just have a couple more minutes. We've gone over already. I want to be respectful of your time, but I'll answer like one or two more questions, and then we'll wrap it up for the night. I really appreciate everyone who stuck around this long to listen to what I have to say. Business credit used to live in Flatbush. So Luckman says, "Can I please make a video about virtual assistants? What each virtual assistant job does for you?" So that's a great idea. Um, like I said earlier, I think it's the first link in the description below is somewhere you can sign up to get more information about virtual assistants. Click on that link, put in your email address. Every time I make a video about virtual assistants, you'll get that email to you. And then as soon as my virtual assistant course is available, I'll send you an email letting you know it's available. You're not committing to buying it now. It's just that you'll know as soon as it's available. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss that, make sure to sign up in the first link below this video. Okay, so we're going to wrap things up. I really appreciate everyone who's come out to ask the questions. I really appreciate you guys for the 3,000 subscriptions. Sorry. That's huge. And like I never would have imagined this when I started my channel. I would have been happy with like 500 subscribers. In fact, there's 3,000 of you guys out there who are watching me. 126 right now after an hour of watching me for an hour, just listening to me talk. I really appreciate that. All the new members of the eBay Dropshipping Titans course, thanks guys for coming to the course, for learning, for supporting each other in the private Facebook group. You guys are awesome in there. I'm always blown away when I log in. I see all these like notifications, all these questions. I'm like, oh no, I have to answer all these questions because I do try to address everyone's questions, but I'm finding I have to do that less and less because there's so many people in the group answering each other's questions, helping each other out, which is awesome. That's what I was really hoping for, to see a community like that. So thank you guys for doing that. I really appreciate it. And thanks again to everyone who's here, who's watched, who keeps watching, who comes back week after week, and for all the subscriptions. So I guess I'll do another giveaway at 4,000 subscribers. We'll see how long that one takes. I thought it would be like a month last time. It only took 2 weeks. So thanks again to everyone. I really hope you have a good night.